Welcome to another episode of our counseling sessions right here on Midland State University radio station. And my name is your Uncle Kyle. As you know that we are here to transform communities in so many ways. And this time around, we are trying to transform communities by making sure that we create a safe environment for every person who might be out there. Some are getting these services through these radio sessions that we are having, and some are also having these sessions through access to the university. As you know that the Counseling Services Department is a department that is under Midland State University radio station. And once again, I am joined with Mr. Munyira from the Counseling Services Department. And as we getting through the issues that we are going to talk about, last time we spoke about the issues to do with safer space. And maybe in brief, Mr. Munyira, you can just do a rundown on what we looked at in our previous section before we talk about what we want to look at today.
Thank you very much. Greetings, dear listeners.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, last time we talked about the safe space.
Cool.
We always have to strive to have a safe space. Mm-hmm. When we have a safe space, be it at home, be it at work, be it at school, be it at university, then we are sure that people are secure. People do not face harm. Their mental health issues are addressed through having a safe space. Mm-hmm. Their concerns are addressed. So that's what we looked at. Mm-hmm. We also looked at the importance of counseling services in creating a safe space. Mm-hmm. And our dear parents, our dear guardians should also consider us, the Midland State University,
sure,
for their students, for their children, because it is a university with a fully fledged counseling department. So when you send your children to a university with a safe space, then you are certainly assured that your child is safe, your child is secure, your child is in good hands. Mm-hmm. So that's what we actually looked at.
All right. And today we are talking about issues to do with identity. Which is one of things that a lot of people are struggling with lately. A lot of people don't even know what is their identity, and I'm happy that you came up with this one, and I'm hoping that it's going to allow everyone out there to identify themselves and who they are really, because I feel like because now of social media and where the world is going, and the world is changing day by day, and people are becoming the people that they see on social media. They are becoming the things that they see on movies. They are becoming a borrowed identity in a way. So to begin with, maybe you can talk about satisfaction. What is satisfaction?
Yes, satisfaction is a stage in life where one feels that he is secure.
Okay.
He has got it. He or she has mastered it. It is to do with being content. It is to do with being sure of what you are doing and what you want to do. It has to do with confidence when you are satisfied. It has to do with the stability. I'm satisfied. I'm stable. You can actually be able to define who you are with regards to satisfaction. You see? Mm-hmm. So it's a very important aspect in addressing mental health issues. Because many people get into unwanted behavior for the scratch for satisfaction. And when they they don't know when they have reached that stage. You see, they don't know when they have reached that stage.
Sure.
They always crave for it.
more.
They always crave for it,
Sure.
but they cannot define it. You see.
Yeah. I'm really happy that
You see, this
came
is
up with
why
this
you
one.
see some people enter into issues of infidelity. You know, he does not know, or he or she does not know what exactly is he or she looking for. So there is always an empty space in that person's life. So by doing all those maladaptive issues, you are trying to search for satisfaction. You see.
Yeah, I'm happy that you came up with that one, because it's a problem that is worldwide. You know, we are not satisfied because we do not know what satisfaction is. Let's talk about even issues to do with money. No one will ever say that I'm now at a point whereby I'm now okay with money. You know, people always want more, and when they have more, they now start having sleepless nights.
Yeah.
They can no longer be able to spend time with their families because they are trying to manage that money. They're trying to make sure that people are not stealing that money from them. I think it's just coming back to the issue of satisfaction. We are not sure of what satisfaction is.
It's really an issue, Uncle, because when parents send their children to a university is a place where the minds are nurtured, where life is nurtured. So they give them pocket money, thinking that this will take them through the month. But because of lack of satisfaction to say, this is what my parents can afford, some students can go out of their way looking for money through other means that will actually destroy them. So this aspect of satisfaction is quite important. You know,
Very true. All right, now coming back to the issue of identity. What is identity?
Identity is a feeling of who one is. Who one is. One must be able to define himself or herself, to say, I am Mr. Munyira.
All right.
You see? But more often, people are lost. They cannot locate their identity. And when we are at institutions where there are many adolescents, you can pick up that people live other people's lives. They are lost in the midst. So it is important for people to always seek to understand who they are, because this will determine how they think, how they behave, and also how they relate with other people. You know, it's quite sad. If you can imagine someone living the other person's life, you have abandoned your life, you have abandoned who you are and who you are supposed to be, and trying to copy another person's personality, another person's way of doing things, which is not really your purpose, which is not really your makeup. And then people experience what we call identity confusion or identity crisis. You are living someone else's life, and that will not result in satisfaction. You always are lost in the mist.
Yeah. Now, I'm sure we are now trying to connect the dots between satisfaction and identity, because we spoke of the two things. What can you tell us about the relationship between identity and satisfaction?
When I know that I'm Zimbabwean and my staple food is sadza, you see, when I get the sadza, I'm satisfied. I know that this goes along well with me. But when I don't really, when I'm not very conscious about my Zimbabweanness, about my nationality, about my culture, then it is very difficult to put a food on the table that I will actually feel satisfied with. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So there is a connecting link between identity and satisfaction. You see, you can't get everything in the world. And these other things, the material things actually, they cannot make you satisfied. What can make you satisfied is to be aware of yourself. You see, to be aware of yourself, self-awareness. To try by all means to connect yourself to your culture, to your society. I think that will help.
All right, and for us to see that someone is lacking identity or satisfaction, there's supposed to be some signs. Can you just tell us about the signs that we have to see that shows there's a lack of identity in this person?
Yeah, that's a critical question. You see, some people do not find time for themselves, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, one can start a program and fails to finish that program and changes that program actually to start another one. One can actually even the spending aspect, spending your money, it tells us that this person may not be in agreement with his identity. He does not know his identity. One of the signs is that for children, they begin to have some conflicts with their parents. A lot of conflicts with their parents, because the parents want to instill certain behaviors, and they are also very, what can I say? They want to go against that. You can tell that there is identity confusion in this person. You see?
Yeah.
The clothing can actually tell you that this person is in identity confusion. The way one pursues the spiritual life is actually a sign that you can tell this person is in identity confusion. Yes, kuna mata kwakanaka kunodiwa, but you begin to see that this is now out of this world. You see,
Sure.
because kuna mata kunofanira kutibatsira to relate with other people, you know, to relate with other people, to relate with our parents, to relate with our children. But kana zvazvo zvokuti munhu anototi kana usingaende kwandinoenda, we cannot relate. Then that's identity confusion.
All right. And they say that to everything that happens, there are consequences to it. Now, what are the consequences of the lack of identity?
When there is a lack of identity, it means one is concentrating on issues that are not consistent with that person. So you lose opportunities. You fail to pursue your purpose. You also have problems in relating with other people. You feel empty. You don't feel satisfied. You lack energy to pursue the goals. You are not motivated. You go in circles when you do not know your identity. You see, you don't know what you want. In actual fact,
Sure.
yes, you can go where the wind blows. You see, it's like when someone approaches you and say, let's go for a drink. You go, but was that your plan?
No.
Probably you are leaving your assignments, you are leaving your research that must be done, but because you do not know yourself, you do not know what you want, you just go by the program of the other person. You see, so that is a very big problem, because people live other people's lives. They pursue other people's purposes, living out their own, and those are consequences. Yeah.
I think this is a very important issue that you touched on, because generally, I feel like a lot of people are really lacking identity. And if we even ask, like what I talked about earlier on, that we are living based on what we are exposed to, either on social media or through our society. But maybe let me just take you back a little bit. Is identity defined by how you were brought up, or identity is allowed to evolve?
Identity is it must be formed by your background.
Okay.
Yeah, the societal expectations, your family expectations, the societal expectations, right? But it will reach a level where the environment influences you much more than your family. So the identity is formed by the parental methods, how you were brought up. You see, this is where you find some challenges with most people coming from broken families. The identity is not very much defined. You see, so yes, the family background is quite critical in this instance. But when one grows up to be an adolescent, and adolescence is a period between childhood and adulthood, and then some other people will come and influence, will come with their own inputs to that personality.
All right.
You see.
Okay. Maybe it should be another topic for another day, because I've got so many questions in the issues to do with identity, because some also say, parents may come and they say, we want you to be a doctor. And they'll be grooming you to be a doctor. But when you grow up, we have even had cases of students per se, who have been forced by their parents to probably study other programs. But that's not what they want. Can we say that when you say that it's shaped by your background, it's probably through your parents, how you were brought up? That's where the question of evolvement, like what I was saying, doesn't identity evolve?
It does evolve.
Okay.
Because I said, when people come to the university, when we come to work, we are bound to copy other people's personalities, to copy other people's behaviors. And then by so doing, their influence has a bearing in our identity.
Okay.
Yes. But when you talked about parents wanting their children to do certain programs, some parents are controlling, some are nurturing, N-U-R-T-U-R-E. Right. So the controlling parents do not give space for the child to choose and to expose what he or she likes. And that is not good. It is important for parents to come with their input and also to give the child space to tell what he or she is good at, and the passion and also the personality, whether it matches the program.
All right.
So we encourage parents to be nurturing, not to be controlling. But most people come from controlling parents.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right. Now, what is the role of counseling in all this, in identity and satisfaction?
Yeah, counseling plays a role in trying to bring to awareness individuals' identity.
All right.
And because when one is aware of their identities and where they are missing the point, they are able to correct. They are able to adjust. Counseling helps one to adjust to situations, to adapt to situations. Because I have to adapt to live with you. I have to adapt to relate with you. So counseling plays a critical role in identity and satisfaction. To say, you must have an inner drive. You must have an inner strength in order for you to be able to appreciate who you are, to love yourself. Some people carry damaged self-image as a result of focusing on environmental factors. And in counseling, we help people to mobilize internal energy, to strengthen their ego, to strengthen themselves, so that they are able to fight external forces and pursue their purposes.
All right.
So counseling is actually an oasis of hope, peace, and love. It instills internal peace, internal joy. When we are talking about counseling, we are saying there are times when we use a strength-based approach, where we are saying, regardless of your challenges, the challenge that you are going through, we try by all means to create a reservoir of peace, hope, love, and justice, so that you are able to adapt to a situation, to adjust to a situation, and also to move on. Yeah.
All right. I think as we wrap up, maybe you might just, for those who probably got hold of us after we started the program, just in brief, you can just rub through the issues that we're looking at today, issues to do with satisfaction and identity in brief.
We get satisfaction through accepting who we are, through knowing who we are, knowing our personalities, knowing our makeup. That gives us satisfaction. And we must always try by all means to locate our identity. Identities change as we grow. So we must be able to define who we are. You must know who you are and what you really need and what you really want. Don't allow other personalities to have a lot of impact in your identity. Do not live other people's lives. Do not live other people's styles. With identity, at times I feel pity for other people, because they can actually change their furniture because they have seen the next door have changed their furniture.
Sure.
You see, to give your wife or your husband pressure to say, no, let us change everything. Because you see, so you're getting into financial problems because you want to identify yourself with what you are not yet at in terms of finances. So a copied life usually gives problems.
Sure.
Yeah. So we must try by all means to live the standard of life that we can manage, that actually does not give us a lot of pressure. I must wear the shoes, the size of the shoe that fits my shoes, my feet. Yeah.
Right. I think that was a very important a topic that we were looking at, because these are issues that a lot of people are living with. We are trying to envy each other. We are living in a world of envying each other. Vamwe vanototaura kuti hanzi tikaona mainhingi vachivhurwa dhore motikari pavanenge vachiburuka mota, tinotonziva kuti kumba ukoko panenge pakaipa, unotonzi kwena hausi kundivhurira dhore nei, you see. But pamwe pacho uzozive pamwe dhore akafa ruda ungovhurwa. You see, so I'm happy that you came up with this with this topic though. So until I hope that next time we'll have also more of these types of topics, because I feel that they relate with our our daily lives, with our societies. We are now living a life of competition and of pressure, and especially to the youth and teenagers as well. They are living a life of what they see on social media.
Yeah.
I was talking to someone who was telling me that, you see, I'm shocked in some other cities in Harare. I'm shocked. I see other people who are renting my shops for almost $700 to $800, but they're selling clothes. Yet, how are they managing to pay 700 rent? Are they getting more profits for paying 700? And other people are also following to do the same thing, and their businesses are collapsing. But the problem that people are not seeing is that, probably this person has got another business which is helping to fund this business.
Yeah.
So
people put on false selves.
You see now.
They put on masks. They put on shadows. They don't want to live a simple life that they are supposed to live. It's just like muchato chayo, muchato wedding. People get into serious debts. Serious debts. Saka this young couple inozoita 3, 4, 5 years ichibhadhara madebts epamuchato pavakaita kungoti panguva flashy.
True.
And that is not correct. We need to live a simple life that we can manage. That we when we go to sleep, we can enjoy the sleep. We must be as simple as possible. I cannot buy that kind of a shirt with that price because when it is going for $800, I can't.
Sure. Yeah.
Saka izvozvo manje ndo zvinozokonzera mental health issues because mari chatadza kukwana kumba kuya makufungirana a lot of things zvikwereti munogara muchingonokerwa and even kuendesa kuchikoro muendese kuchikoro panoenderana nemari yako.
Exactly.
Why would you want to your child to go to a very expensive primary school when you cannot afford? Saka izvozvo manje ndo zvaakuuyisa a lot of frustrations muupenyu hwavanhu in terms of finances. Anozofunga kuti ndiri kuwana mari shoma stereki nyamba ndiye ari kuda kurarama life isingaenderani nezvaari kuwana.
Wow. Mr. Munyira, I'm happy. It's just that our time is limited, but I would have loved that one day we get to talk about, I think we should focus more on peer pressure on some days, because the peer pressure also kind of comes in through the topic that we're looking at today in terms of satisfaction and identity. Peer pressure is what is killing a lot of people, a lot of youth, because they've got peer pressure or because of what they see on social media or because of what their neighbors are doing, because of what their peers are doing. And that is now... they are now brewing a lot of more problems, like drug and substance abuse, amongst many other things. Just like me, for example, as Uncle Kyle, some people might think that Uncle Kyle probably he drives this huge car or he's got this huge mansion just because I'm on radio today. You see, and now I might get pressured to now want to live that life that they think of me because I want to satisfy their thoughts, instead of satisfying myself, and I might end up in debt at the end of the day.
In the debt, you know what, my uncle Kyle, hakuna chinhu chakashata sekugara usina mari muhomwe.
Sure.
But mari haigoni kugara muhomwe kana uchiita go for things that are beyond your capacity. No?
True.
Azviite. So you must be able to identify who you are and live the life that you can manage, that you can afford. You see, because pamwe pacho unopedzisira wakusora vabereki kana murume kana mudzimai, because external things cannot give you satisfaction. For your own information, external things, no. Even if you buy those fucking cars, those clothes, they cannot give you that satisfaction. Satisfaction is accessed through knowing yourself. That's where the importance of counseling is. I can have 3 shirts and be satisfied.
Sure.
How many times have you seen me putting on this one? But I'm happy.
Sure.
You see?
Yeah, that's very true.
You see, so people think that when they get a lot of money, a lot of wealth, they are going to access satisfaction. No, that's not it. It's far away from that.
Sure. So I think to anyone who's listening out there, you can have all the money in the world, but it might not satisfy your quench. It might actually bring new problems. But we all want money. And I think that's where we have to draw the line. Even having all the things that you see other students having. Some students, they come from better homes. They might come even with a car at university. But you have to learn to live within your means. This was another episode of our counseling sessions right here on Midland State University radio station. My name is your Uncle Kyle, and I was with Mr. Munyira on this session. Until we meet again next time, remember to get in touch with us. Our lines are open enough on 0782903 or on WhatsApp or on Instagram and Facebook. You can also follow us on MSU Radio. Let me also say big shout out to the guys who are behind the scenes. Big shout out to Stephen Ngomani, our producer, presenter as well. Big shout out to Ralph, who's our director, in making sure that the visuals are coming out well. But until we meet again next time, it's bye-bye for now.